The information is readily available on the internet if they have access to the internet. But that is where VIA comes in. We want to be a source of information for the blind and visually impaired. I'll try to sum up. But I will tell you a little story about how VIA was actually formed. As my sister told you, I began losing my sight. I was not living in Houston at the time. And after a couple of fender benders, then I decided it was time for me to return to Houston. They had diagnosed me with retinitis pigmentosa, but I still figured, well, I'll still be able to see. So I came back to Houston because I definitely needed a support structure to complement the things or help me with the things that I was unable to perform. Well, at that time, for the first year that I was back in Houston, I was completely stagnant. I didn't know anything, any of the resources that were out here available to individuals. And I just basically sat at home. The one agency that I was aware of that were involved with the blind community, they didn't respond to my questions. So I just kind of sat and did nothing. And I'm basically an active individual. I like to be involved and go out and do things, but because of my visual limitations, I was unable to do this. Through a mutual friend, I was introduced to Gail Matoya. This was a wellspring of information. Once I met her, she was able to tell me about the Department of Assistive and Rehabilitative Services, DARS we often refer to it as. She showed me a lot of this technology that I was telling you about. She had this available, color identifiers, just a number of objects that I was completely in awe about this. And one day we were sitting around, I think Darlene Tarkington was one of the first people, among the first people that I met when I became involved in DARS. We met and we had a barbecue, I think, at my house one year, and we were all sitting around talking about some of the inconveniences of being blind and certain things that we think should be better. For example, I don't know if you, and as a sighted person, you probably are completely oblivious to this, but if you go into a restaurant, do you notice that there are no menus printed in Braille for the most part? There are no large print menus available. Sometimes if you go in and you ask for these things, people are looking at you as, I never really considered doing that. Well, yes, blind people eat in restaurants, and this would be a useful tool to help us. Even when you go to you want to go to the restroom. If you're there at a restaurant by yourself, you don't want the server to have to take you there. There are a number of places out in that the public would attend where there's no Braille on the door, no raised print, and you don't know which door to go into. It's like pick a door. And yes, I have gone through the wrong door before. But we sat down and we were talking about some of the inconveniences, that's the best way for me to describe it, that we encounter on a daily basis, and how can we change that? And the people that I was with was interested in doing something. We don't believe in just complaining about a problem if we're not part of the solution. And that's the way VIA was formed.
How you just telling me, I'm sitting here now, I'm just overwhelmed with what you're saying, because yes, we do take that for granted. I've never seen Braille, a menu with Braille, and we take yes, you do go out to eat, and I laugh because Darlene here, also my church member, my sister in Christ, she always we always try to help her do something, and she'll go, I'm not handicapped, just let me do it myself. She does it all herself because she wants, she's active, she wants to do it. So yes, there are some things that we sighted people need to recognize and need to know that you all are a vital part of the community too. And when I listen at all the stuff that's out there that can make you, all the software and stuff that's out there for you all, makes you very vital. You probably work better than the sighted one, than the sighted ones do. Now, Jackie, you say you are their eyes when you go out with them. You've been with this group, this being your sister. And by the way, I'm glad you mentioned that. This is Jackie's sister, Miss Minnie here. So when you're out, were you a part of that group of getting all of their stuff together and getting this group formed when they first started?
No, I wasn't part of the original formation of the group. As I said, I was actively employed at the time, field construction, and at the time I was working. And once I was laid off, my sister asked me if I would come to a meeting and help them do something. And I said, sure, no problem. And I began, helping her out in different areas that they needed. And at the time, the secretary and treasurer, she was acting secretary and treasurer and acting secretary, she was a little bit overwhelmed with all of the responsibilities. And so they asked me if I would come in and assist her. And I said, yes, because I'm an active person too. I just don't believe in sitting around and doing nothing. I have to be out and doing something. So as I said, I became involved with the group. And like I said, that was in the latter part of 2008. And they have accepted me in warmly, because coming in, my sister, she's as far as her sight is concerned, she's very independent. And most people, as a helper or whatever, you want to come in and just lead them around and start doing things. And as you said before, Darlene would tell you, I can do it myself.
Yes.
And that's the way my sister is. She can do it herself. So I have learned to kind of take a back seat. In other words, step back. And if I see there is a need, if there's an obstacle in the way that would cause them any type of hurt or harm or anything, then I step in. As I said, when they go out and there's something that needs to be read to them, I try and do that. When we're traveling, most of the time, it's just to mention to them the things that are in the way, or to assist the individuals that are helping them, showing them how to help them, get around and do the things and maintain their dignity and independence.
Okay. How is your foundation funded, Ms. Minnie?
Well, presently, we are working towards becoming a 501c3 nonprofit organization, but at the present time we're not. We haven't accomplished that. So we basically operate on donations from various individuals, and we have annual dues for our full-time members, and the board also will donate money for various events.
Okay.
Well, for fundraisers.
Oh, yes, you're correct. We have had some fundraisers in the past, and we continue to work along this line because we want to make apply for grant money once we have an opportunity to obtain the 501c3.
Well, today you're on the show. Hopefully someone that's out there listening at the show will be that one that may call and say, what can I do, to help this group? Because obviously you all are trying to help to be, like you say, a resource for the community out there. So what we're going to need you to do is let them know, how do they get in touch with VIA, and just so if someone wanted to donate to you, how would they get in touch with VIA? Why don't you let our listening audience know how they would get in touch with you?
Well, we circulate a weekly newsletter, and in order to, which not only will announce activities that VIA is preparing to host or sponsor, but all of the grassroots visually impaired groups or organizations throughout the Houston area. We are incorporated into that. If you would like to get on the distribution of that newsletter, then you can send your email information to viafoundation@yahoo.com. We're in the process of, or well, actually, the website is under construction, so that we can be more accessible. But that's the present time. That's the best way to contact.
Is there a
us.
number that they can call, or is just the just the email?
Just
right
the
now?
email at
Just
the present
email,
time. Yes.
right now. What is the most recent event that you all are fixing to get ready to do, Darlene?
We're finna do our anniversary.
Okay.
Our June anniversary. We'll be together 3 years in June. So that's our upcoming event.
Okay. Okay, and if people wanted to get involved with that, that would be another way. Calling, sending an email saying that they would like to get involved. Because what we're hoping this show will do for you is get people interested in what you all are doing and want to be a part of that. Not only for donations, but even those that are visually impaired out there that feel like they don't have a group to to get with, because there are those out there that are not associated with some of the other groups that are out there. There may be some people out there that didn't know that Vera existed.
I
and that
was
they
one of them.
that didn't know that Vera that you exist, and they need some place to come together, because like I said, I have seen all of you all together, and it does appear like a big family, and I look at the stuff that you all are doing, and it's a blessing for the community. So we're hoping that from this show, and we're going to get some emails and some donations, for your group. I'm going to pause a minute with you, because I want you all to recognize that one of your members lost their father. And we want to we want to make sure that we send our prayers out. He was going to be with us today.
Yes.
Could you give us that information on Eduardo?
Yes, Eduardo Rangel, who is our fundraising coordinator, was scheduled to be here. He's the expert, so I was basically pinch hitting for him on the technology aspect of things. But he lost his father this past weekend, and the funeral services are going to be this evening. So everyone in the organization, Eduardo, would like to extend to you and your entire family our sincere condolences on the loss of your father, and to let you know that we're all here for you.
Oh, such a blessing. And I also know that Gail was going to be here today, another one of our guests that was going to be on today. And she, too, is at the hospital, I think, with her husband. We want to send out some words of comfort to her, too.
Yes.
That's correct. The other person that was going to accompany me today, Mrs. Gail Matoya, who I told you was the first blind person that I met in the city of Houston when I returned. Her husband is undergoing a medical procedure. He's now hospitalized. So we all wish you, Joe Matoya, a speedy and complete recovery.
Okay. And we thank you all so much for being here with us today. There's been a lot of information passed out there, and maybe on another show we will have Eduardo, and we'll be able to get Gail on the show to give us more information, and to let the community out there know that there are groups out there, and this is a group out there that if you're having some problems and you need resources, they can help you get to the resources that you need. They can give you the information that you need.
May I add one last thing before we close?
Yeah.
We would like to invite the people that are blind or visually impaired to come to our support group meeting. It's once a week on Thursdays at the Multi-Service Center from 10:30 until 11:30 a.m.
1417 West Gray.
Okay.
1475.
Yeah,
Right.
1475 West Gray.
Right.
14. Okay.
Okay. You all are a very active group, and you make me those of us that are sighted say we need to get busy, because you're not letting any grass grow under your feet. I mean, you all are active, you're on the move, and you're doing things, and we want to thank you all for being here with us today.